What's going on, everybody? It is your boy, the American F1 fan, Eric Ringel here, and we are live for the Italian Grand Prix. And as you can see, I'm sitting totally different from the way we typically sit. Setup has changed, but the Italian Grand Prix today, McLaren on pole, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri on the front row, Max Verstappen absolutely nowhere. Starting a little bit further back in 7th position, but today's going to be a very interesting Grand Prix, I think. You know, with it being in Monza, with it being in, at a place that is got such high speeds, it is definitely going to be a DRS train, I think, for the top 8. And You can definitely see that difference in, just in qualifying. The top 4 teams are just so much better than the rest of the field. And, that's going to be the race to watch. Yes, you're going to have two separate races to watch. So you're going to have the top 8 that are going to be battling it out, for win and for podium. And then you're going to have the midfield battle between Aston Martin, Visa Cash App Red Bull, Haas, Alpine, not so much Sauber, maybe Williams with the Albon top 10 qualifying, but we've seen at times that they tend to drop off a little bit. So you're going to have 2 different races today, and there is a chance for rain. As they're showing the radar, if you're watching the ESPN or Sky broadcast, they are showing the radar right now, and there is a chance for rain today in Italy. So that'll be very interesting to see as well. If we get rain, how well these cars are going to react in the rain. But like I said, brand new setup. You guys can see things are a lot different than me typically sitting behind the desk. I actually like this setup a little bit more. I'm not kind of confined to behind a desk. But eventually I'll probably do some more live reaction videos or just reaction videos, and you'll be able to kind of see more of my setup as we progress there. But once again, thank you to F1 Dash. If you guys go to the link in the description, you guys can see the timing screen that I use on my screen with me. It helps me out immensely. That's the one thing I will not like. I have my trusty phone here with times and whatnot and my chat, but I'll be looking mainly at the race today. And really focusing in on that. But you guys will have the timing screen on the screen along with me. So thank you to them for the wonderful timing screen that they've put out. It's absolutely fantastic. Link is down in the description. Also got to give thanks to Chris, who I will make sure to put a link in of his channel down in the description. He puts together all the live reactions of every Formula One race weekend. He does such amazing hard work, and I got to give a shout out to him. Without him, I don't think I'm anywhere near the 700 subscribers that I'm at today. But we are now, let's see here. Let's see what time it is. It is 7:51, so we are 9 minutes away from formation lap beginning. Let's run down. The grid has not changed very much from yesterday. So you got Lando Norris on pole, Oscar Piastri in second. You got, you got George Russell in third, Charles Leclerc in fourth, Carlos Sainz fifth, Hamilton sixth, Verstappen seventh, Perez eighth, which now you can kind of say that Perez is on the same, almost on the same wavelength as Max Verstappen. Qualifying just near him. Then you've got Alexander Albon with a great qualifying session yesterday. He's starting 9th. Nico Hülkenberg, again, putting that Haas up into position where, a lot of Haas fans did not imagine this car would be this part into the season. Then you have Fernando Alonso in 11th, Daniel Ricciardo 12th, Kevin Magnussen 13th, Pierre Gasly 14th, Esteban Ocon 15th, Tsunoda 16th, Stroll 17th, Franco Colapinto starting in 18th. Let's see, starting 18th. You know, since I'm not even going to go there. And then you've got the two Saubers of Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou in 19th and 20th. I meant to make a video earlier this week when they dropped Logan Sargeant, so I'll talk about that real quick. I think it was a joke. Granted, Logan Sargeant has been pretty god-awful this year. But, you know, Logan Sargeant was an F2 for a year, an F3 for 2 years. And at the time that Williams signed Logan Sargeant, there was absolutely nobody on the grid that wanted to sign for a Williams team that was literally last place in the constructors, wasn't even fighting in the midfield for the longest time. And there was nobody that wanted to sign for Williams. So Logan did what I think anybody else would have done and went ahead and signed the contract, you know, giving him a shot in Formula One. They were pretty, you know, even. There were times, that Logan just wasn't cutting it. He deserved that second year. I think the thing that ruined him the most, if I'm being totally frank, is the Australia incident, in which Alexander Albon absolutely wrecks their car. And this is all, I think a lot of this situation in Australia was all on Williams. You only had 2 chassis from the beginning of the season. Alexander Albon literally wrecks one of those chassis. And then you tell Logan Sargeant, you've got to get out of your car so that we can give it to Alexander Albon, because we think he can score points, which he then didn't do. And then you pulled Logan Sargeant out of that car for nothing. And, you know, I put a tweet out when the announcement of Logan Sargeant getting fired from Williams. I put it out there that I said Logan Sargeant was in a no situation at Williams. He was put in a situation where he was, you know, he was probably Williams' like 5th or 6th choice. And, you know, basically they expected him to, you know, pull a rabbit out of his hat and put Williams, you know, further up on the grid. And it sucks for Logan Sargeant. I get it. He you know, was bad. But I truly think that you could have left Logan in till the end of the season and then worried about, you know, next season where you've now got Carlos Sainz and Alexander Albon partnering each other. But, you know, so be it. Logan Sargeant's gone. It's just funny to me that, you know, they made this big deal about how they wanted, you know, somebody in the car that could equal Alexander Albon's pace, and you've got Franco Colapinto, who's basically starting where Logan Sargeant would have started. Potentially a little bit lower. Logan was showing speed at times. But again, Franco's starting a little bit lower than I think where Logan Sargeant would have been. All right, enough about Logan Sargeant. We're getting ready for Monza. Again, chance of rain in the race, 40%, so that'll be interesting. This is known as a purely speed track. It's almost all, you know, straightaways. You've got a couple of high-speed areas. The Curva Grande, you've got this, like I said at the beginning of this video, this is going to be there's going to be 2 different battles today. I think you're going to see. You're going to see battles going on in the top 8, and then you're going to see battles going on in the midfield to the further back in the pack. So this will be two really interesting races to see today as we get into this race. So guys, if you guys can, if you're watching this along with me, make sure to hit that like button. Helps me out immensely. And then also, if you guys are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out there as well. And then you guys can support the channel in one of two ways. You guys can either hit the you can either send a super chat, which I will read out here, or you can donate through Cash App, which the link is down in the description below. You guys can donate one of those two ways, and it helps support the channel. So it would really help me out if you guys could do that today. So just running down the grid, which I just ran down a couple minutes ago, the McLarens, who have now overtaken Red Bull as the fastest car on the grid, starting on the front row, and then you got Charles Leclerc and George Russell. One other storyline going into this is, what is the team order for today when it comes to McLaren? Will Lando Norris be given every opportunity in the world to lead this race and to win? Or is it, again, one of those situations where whoever leads after corner one is going to get the preferential treatment today? That'll be probably another big story to watch today, as we saw a couple just before the summer break when Oscar won in Hungary. You know, we saw that Oscar basically led that race after Lando had a poor getaway, and then proceeded to almost get screwed over by his own team. Luckily, Lando played the team game and Lando Norris let Oscar by for Oscar to win that race. So, be really interesting to see today. If Lando gets another shit start, it's going to be that Oscar could be leading going into turn one. What's going to happen then? So, all right, so here we go. We are getting close to the start now, or at least start on the formation lap. There we go. Fixing the timing screen a little bit there. All right, so we are now on the formation lap for the Italian Grand Prix. Guys, if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. So here's the tire rundown. Top 6 are on mediums. Then you've got the Red Bulls of Verstappen and Perez on hards. You've got Albon, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Ricciardo, Magnussen, and Gasly all on mediums. Ocon, Tsunoda, Stroll on hards. Colapinto on mediums. Bottas on hards, and Zhou on mediums. So it's a simple one-stop race, mediums to hards or hards to mediums. Mediums look to go about 20 laps or so, maybe a little bit less than that. The hards will probably go about 30 laps or so. We saw that there wasn't much deviation in each individual tire. It looks like the soft, the medium, and the hard are all very close together when it comes to timing. There was literally only like a half a second difference between the hard compounded tire and the soft. So we could definitely see some varying strategies, you know, especially if we get rain today. Maybe it only rains for a little bit, dries out. We're going to get a very interesting strategy today. So let's see what'll happen today as they're coming down the final back stretch before the start finish line again. I'm horrible at corner names, so don't even expect me to Parabolica, sorry. I just remembered it. So now they're Man, Colapinto's way far back. He hasn't even gotten into a Scari yet. That rain looks to be just absolutely evaporating as soon as it gets into a certain area. So I don't know if we'll get rain today. So they're coming through Parabolica onto the front stretch. All right, starting to line up on the grid. I was going to say, they're going to have to sit there for a while because Colapinto hadn't even gone through a Scari yet. All right, here we go. Guan Yu Zhou and Valtteri Bottas carrying up the end of the grid. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we're out and away we go. Lando Norris gets a really good start today. Oh, George Russell goes straight on at the first. Oh, Russell knocks down one of those bollards. Comes out and he's dropping places. He's now getting passed by Hamilton. Wow! Piastri shoved Norris wide. Now that brings Leclerc into it. Piastri into the lead. Norris down to third. Piastri, what a move into that chicane. Look at this grouping. Oh, somebody's... Hulkenberg has really dropped back. DRS will now be activated for lap 2. Hulkenberg's dropped from 10th to 16th. Oh, here we go. Max is already starting the complaining about Lewis Hamilton didn't leave him a car width, and I got a penalty for that. Just stop. So Leclerc's within DRS range of Piastri here. Piastri maybe kind of hung out. Nope, Piastri's able to keep that advantage. Ooh, there is a ton of dirt in that section there. Piastri's almost out to a second lead over Leclerc. Yeah, we love to throw the black and orange flag when it comes to the Hosses. I can't believe they haven't thrown it yet on Russell. So right now, running order: Piastri, Leclerc, Norris, Sainz, Hamilton, Verstappen, Russell, Perez, Albon, and Alonso. Your top 10 right now. Piastri's not completely checked out yet, and Leclerc's still in DRS range of Piastri. Norris fastest lap of the Grand Prix there with the 125.110. This is a DRS train right now. Hulkenberg gains a position back up to 15th now. Hulkenberg and Tsunoda going at it. This top 4 is McLaren, Ferrari, McLaren, Ferrari. What, was George Russell not paying attention there on the start? Man, Piastri's lucky he didn't get a puncture off of that. If that broke George Russell's front wing, I'm surprised that didn't puncture a tire. Let's see how close it actually was. Yeah, man, George just not using his head there. Yeah, Lando Norris did not get a good run out of that first chicane, and Leclerc able to take advantage of it and move up to second. Oh, come on, Ricardo. You jackwagon. I love you, Daniel, but that's stupid. You gave no room to Nico there. Yeah, how did he not get a black and orange flag for that? You can see the bit of wing is in that gravel trap just out of Ascari there. Norris has lost DRS to Leclerc on this lap. Sainz has also lost DRS. Hulkenberg's into the pits early. I wonder if there was damage done because Tsunoda has dropped a ton of places as well. Oh, Jesus. So what caused that damage? Jesus Christ. What are we doing? All right, so Piastri's still under a second lead over Leclerc, but Norris has dropped back a little bit. Maybe Norris is going to try to save those mediums a little bit to go a little bit longer. Hulkenberg became Perez for a second. Yeah, CT, I agree with that. it was just such a way. Like, I get Hulkenberg's move there, but he did it too late, locked it up, and then proceeded to put it right into the side of Tsunoda. Tsunoda's obviously got floor damage from that because he's dropped way back off the back end of the Saubers. The Saubers are the slowest car on the grid right now. So anybody that's on medium tires now, pit windows about lap 19 to 25 on those mediums. But I would not be surprised if you see somebody take it a little bit longer because we haven't seen the tire wear that we typically see. So right now, literally, the top 8 is almost so Hamilton's 2 seconds behind Sainz right now as Verstappen's on the radio. Just keep it there for the moment, Max. Let them push that medium tire hard. Okay, so they're basically telling them, let them race with the medium tire. Let them take the tire life out of it. Oh, Tsunoda's got to retire. That's on Hulkenberg. So Tsunoda's going to be the first retirement of the race. I hate that for Tsunoda, but Peter Abbott, I gotta say, this is extremely amusing watching American comment on Formula One and then it got boring. No, it's not that it got boring. We're in a weird part of the race, Peter, where I think, we're lap 9. There's starting to become a gap in that top 8. You've got literally a second between each one of those cars, which I don't think a lot of people thought was going to happen because of how fast everybody was in qualifying yesterday. The fight's going to become here. Albon, Alonso, Ricciardo, Magnussen, that 4 for the last 2 points paying positions. That'll be what's comes to be interesting. Daniel Ricciardo with a penalty. 5-second penalty. I'm sure we're going to see a Hulkenberg penalty here very shortly, as Daniel gets the penalty for driving Hulkenberg off the track on lap 1. Yep, Hulkenberg just got a 10-second penalty. That's kind of... How do they... I'm guessing it's because of my guess is the damage. The damage that Hulkenberg did compared to what Ricciardo did, but... Now Leclerc's got fastest lap of the Grand Prix with the 1:24.362. It's it's Alexander Albon, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, and Magnussen. This will be a great fight, especially if there's, if one of these guys, their tires start to go off a little bit sooner than others. I don't know if that was dirt or if that was a little bit of brake lock up there. Ocon's by Gasly now, and so he's almost within a second of Magnussen, so he may come into this fight very shortly. Gasly's dropped back. He's almost 2 seconds back now of Ocon. Ricciardo locking it up going into turn 1. Maybe a little bit of a flat spot on the tires there. Uh-oh. Gasly and Alpine may be getting ready to retire here shortly because they said Gasly's having an issue with his car. And now Max is on the back end of Hamilton here. Or no, who's it? Oh no, this is Perez on Russell. Excuse me, Perez on Russell, and now Perez, nice move. Up into 7th on Perez. Russell is, I think, suffering from the damage he got on lap 1. Get in there, Magnussen. You get in there. That away. Nice pass by Magnussen into turn 1. Nice pass on Ricciardo there. And now he should be able to try to chase down Alonso. Come on, Magnussen, you're carrying the flag for Haas today. Gasly just pit. Russell's being told to pit. Okay, so Oscar's going to stay on plan A so far for right now, but they were asking him about whether or not he should go with plan A or plan B as far as pit strategy today. Here's George Russell into the pits. So you know they're going to change the front wing here. He's going to drop back quite considerably here. Russell and Ricciardo both into the pits. Russell with a 10. Ricciardo had damage too, apparently. Because he took almost a 9-second pit stop there. So now Leclerc's dropped 2 seconds back of Piastri. I'm wondering how much that is of Charles trying to maybe save that medium tire for a while. And now Perez is starting to come, trying to get on the back end of Max after passing George there. Alexander Albon still in a great position, still in 8th. Going to get 4 points for Williams if he can hold that position there. As now Alonso's into the pits. Man, they're pitting extremely almost 6 laps early on those mediums. I wonder how a lot of these cars maybe have taken a lot of the life out of their tires. As Alonso comes out in front of Russell, this should be a decent fight here. Lando Norris is almost pulled to within a second of Charles Leclerc. I think next lap, Lando Norris may get DRS on him here. Oh, he did get DRS this lap. Going through the Lesmo. Oh, Lando getting a little squirrely in the second Lesmo. Getting into the gravel there a little bit. Yeah, Norris is right now on him. He's under a second behind Lando Norris now. As Russell's already by Alonso. Yeah, Norris is going to have to get by Leclerc here quickly. Norris into the pits. Oh! Did he speed going into the pit lane? Wow, Norris may have sped in the pit lane because that almost seemed like a late call. Magnussen into the pits as well. Yeah, he's gonna get this Alpine here quick. There he goes, right around Ocon there, no problems. I have a feeling Lando may have sped in the pit lane. I don't think he got it slowed down enough. I'm calling it now. I think he sped into pit lane. So now you've got Leclerc into the pits, Hamilton into the pits. $2.5 for Leclerc, 2.3 for Hamilton. Lando Norris with the nice undercut and gets ahead of Leclerc. Now he's net P2. Piastri being told to box now. Piastri gets it slowed down. Sainz was saying maybe Sainz saved up his tires a little bit because he's saying everybody that's pitting now is going to have a hard time going to the end. Albon up into 5th place right now. Colapinto into the pits. Leclerc on the radio. What was that? Why did we pit if we are undercut? Leclerc's upset that they pit him when they did. Uh-oh, Ricciardo may not have served his time penalty correctly. Man, Norris really needs to get around Albon here. He really needs to get it on the next straight. On that DRS straight. Because Norris is just starting to lose time to Piastri. Okay. Albon into the pits. .1 stop there for Albon. Nice stop by Williams. Dropping. So Albon now Daniel Ricciardo with another penalty. Now a 10-second penalty for Daniel Ricciardo for not serving his time penalty correctly. So that means they worked on the car before his time penalty had elapsed. Let's see here. Oh, the guy knew it too. He touched. But, oh, come on. That's such a stupid penalty. Like, he touched the wing, but he didn't, like, do work. They really need to readjust that rule. That is so dumb. I don't believe Ricciardo deserved that penalty at all. Like, Daniel Ricciardo did not deserve that penalty at all. So now literally everybody on hard compounded tires except for Sainz, who's just driving along. I mean, he's doing a really good job. He's really got those mediums in a good working window, and he's keeping Verstappen at about a 3-second gap. Here's a replay of Max. Max is into the gravel a little bit there at second Lesmo. Everybody seems to be going really wide if they're not really paying attention enough. They all seem to go wide at that second Lesmo there. And Perez almost did the exact same thing. Carlos Sainz now into the pits. Let's see where he'll come out. Great stop there by Ferrari, 2.4. Ooh, nose to tail between these three. Strolls into the pits. Hamilton needs to get around Ocon here quickly. Excuse me. And Hamilton moves. Ocon didn't even put up the fight. Ocon was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Bottas is up to 9th, I just realized. Holy crap. But he's got Russell right behind him. He's chasing him down. You can pick up the pace, Max. Okay, so maybe Max has been saving his hard compounded tires there for a little bit. So Hamilton's chasing Carlos down. Will he go for a move here? Nah, just gonna peek his car out there, let Carlos know he's there. George Russell around Bottas. Oh, this is going to be interesting. We're 21 laps in. Norris is 1.6 behind Piastri. I don't know how you give a penalty in that. Because, I mean, Magnussen was right on the side of Gasly. But I can see how you give Magnussen a penalty for the collision there. I don't know how they'll rule that one. Is now Alonso. Verstappen's going to box this lap. Alonso around Bottas now. Somebody kicked up a ton of gravel there. So Max is going to drop all the way back behind Hamilton. Man, Norris, I'm surprised that we hadn't seen a speeding in the pit investigation yet, but... Oh, slow stop from Red Bull there. 6.2 seconds. Were they not totally ready for him? That is very un-Red Bull-like. Norris on the radio. You are allowed to race Oscar. Papaya rules. Oh, they had a problem with that back tire coming off. That back right. Oh, the nut either got stuck or the gun malfunctioned there. And here comes Perez now into the pits. Yeah, it was a very slow stop, CT. Red Bull's just like, has the fact that like they're not at the front of the pack anymore like just affected their whole team? That was a 2.8 second stop for Red Bull for Perez. So Max asked, how do we go on with this stint then? And he said, just get on with it. Verstappen gets around Ocon there going into that chicane. Perez is going to need to make quick work. Wait, what are they doing? So there is... so they went on to an... So they're going to do a two-stop race with Verstappen. So because I just noticed that now that he's on another set of hards. And maybe... Because they had I think they had two new sets of hards. So they may go hard, and then maybe soft at the end. Nice job. Going into Parabolica makes that move around Gasly. Sergio Perez now around. Yeah, they're doing two stoppers on both Verstappen and Perez because Perez went on to another set of hards. Kevin Magnussen time penalty at 10 seconds. Damn. Magnussen hit with a 10-second time penalty for a collision with Gasly. Piastri's running a good race so far, ever since he got out into the lead. Running solidly ahead of Norris, 1.8. Man, look at the marbles there. The marbles that have already built up halfway through this race. Man, Piastri's flying. He's just opened up another 0.3 on Norris on this lap. Almost 0.4. Piastri's just doing a nice job managing so far. Man, Sainz is 11 seconds behind Leclerc. How did that happen? Because now here comes Alonso around Ocon. Gasly doing a nice job of defending there on Ricciardo. But Ricciardo's going to have him going into this chicane unless... No! Gasly goes... Gasly locked up, and now Ricciardo gets by him as he locked up and going into that chicane there. Ricciardo now around Gasly. Great job here by Daniel to really put pressure on Gasly into making a mistake going into this chicane. Made him make a mistake and then was able to get past him there. Great job by Daniel there. But Daniel also is under a lot of pressure because he's got a 10-second time penalty added to his time. So he's got to try to extend that gap as now he's on the back end of Bottas. Daniel Ricciardo chasing down Bottas here. Let's see. And finally, Daniel gets around Valtteri there. Jeez. See, this is going to be Franco's first real action, potentially having to pass a car, but Stroll is right behind him. Here comes Franco. Let's see. Franco just kind of peeking out there on Gasly. Norris saying the front left's hey, good job, Franco, there on that pass. But Gasly's still right on his back end. Norris is saying his front right looks really nasty right now. Gasly may have another go going into this. He stayed close, but not close enough. Piastri just set fastest lap, and now Norris is 3.1 behind Piastri. Leclerc on the radio. Norris starting to struggle. This is when Red Bull started to have graining about lap 15 in the stint. Up, George, you better give that position back. Just barely, though. This should be a good fight here. Gasly or Russell and Perez. This should be a fight to watch. As now Leclerc's within a second of Norris. Gasly's made his first stop, I believe. Gasly was on... So Gasly made another stop on the hards. Yo! That's why Leclerc is caught up so much. What is he doing? He gives me the position and then races me. What did you think was going to happen? You guys were literally side by side going into that first chicane, Sergio. Lando Norris is making his second stop. On to another set of hards. Yeah, Russell just went off leading into turn one. What the hell was that? Why do I have a feeling it's only a matter of time before George Russell ends up into the gravel? Magnussen up into the points. Hey! With a 10-second penalty, too, so he's... Wow, we've got nine viewers. Guys, if you guys can, please hit that like button. It helps get push this stream out to more and more people. Hit the subscribe button. And if you guys want to support the channel, you can send me a super chat. I'll read that over the air as I read most comments, but I will make sure I make a point to read the super chat. So support the channel that way, or you can go through Cash App and donate that way. Whichever you guys prefer, but we got 8 viewers right now. So guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and support the channel by super chat. Excuse me, as we get a pit. Ooh. Extremely slow stop from Russell, 4.2. Russell drops back behind Ricardo. As now Stroll's on the back end of Colapinto. Bottas finally into the pits. Ocon's on mediums now. Man, Norris has not made up any time on Verstappen so far. So why did he... Ooh, stepped it over into the grass. Russell just... It was almost like under braking, his car moved that way. Magnussen with a nice move on Albon there. Last stop for George Russell, 4.2. Okay. We're getting ready to go into pit stops. Let me do... There we go. All right. So, got a visitor. Come here, visitor. All right. There we go. We can move the mic a little bit closer.
Okay.
Who's in the lead? Is that Piastri?
Yeah, Piastri.
Piastri in the lead, Leclerc in second, and Sainz in third.
And Hamilton is in fourth place. And Verstappen is in fifth.
Verstappen's in fifth. Lando Norris is in sixth.
Alonso is in 15th.
Yeah, hey, hold on. Let's not grab the microphone, okay?
Okay.
So Perez is pit, and he's on to a set of mediums to the end. Strolls into the pits. Hey, don't touch the microphone. Here, put... You... There we go.
So, I think Carlos Sainz is going to be into the pits next.
Yeah, Hamilton's into the pits now.
Okay, so Hamilton is into the pits. So, he's still in fourth place.
Hamilton with a good pit stop there.
Okay. Wow. Sainz is still in third place.
Sainz is right now still in third place.
Yeah.
Russell gets around Perez, but Perez is gonna fight this.
Oh yeah, I can see both of them.
Hey, what did Daddy say about touching? Gotta be careful. Ooh,
Wow.
they're still fighting.
Oh, Russell was still in.
Piastri into the pits.
Wow, now it's Piastri and Norris.
Yeah, Piastri is in third.
And Sainz is in. Well, the numbers matching the numbers, so it's 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I missed it.
You missed it. It went away.
Huh. Wanna get on this track next?
Yep.
Is this for pits?
No, that's not the pits. That's what place everybody is in right now.
Is this for pits?
Yep.
For glasses?
You looking at yourself? Ooh, man, Sergio almost pushed George right into the grass there. And then George gave him a little bit of a push right back into that chicane there.
Well, I think Leclerc is gonna win this time. I think he's into the lead now.
Well, he's into the lead now, but we'll see.
Okay.
Here comes Norris on Verstappen.
Come on, Norris, you can do it. Come on, Norris.
This could be a good fight right here.
Is that Norris?
Yep, that's Norris. Here we go. Norris setting up the move. Ooh, Max is all over the place right now.
Wow, Velez is almost in the lead right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want this on. So, I think Leclerc is almost winning.
Leclerc is winning for right now.
Well, he's in first place for now. So he just won for the first time. Now I think Sai's gonna win in second place.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is gonna do the same numbers when as the other ones do.
Okay, Norris is going to be on the back end of Verstappen here. Let's see if Norris can make the pass.
And is that Norris?
Yep, there's Norris. Here comes Norris.
Did he want
Making the pass to the outside. Nice job, Norris, with that pass on Verstappen.
Good job, Norris! I knew you could do it!
We don't have to scream, bud, but yeah, that's all right. Great pass.
For playing what we're doing. For playing what we're doing.
Yeah.
She's still playing what we're doing.
Yeah. All right. And here, let's step out for a little bit, and then you can come help Daddy when we finish up the stream, okay? Okay. Verstappen with a much better pit stop there at 2.3. There's Russell around Magnussen, although that was a given. Norris on the radio. So the Ferraris are expecting to go to the end on these hards. Piastri's within 2 laps of being able to catch Sainz here. So this could get very interesting with 10 laps to go. Ten laps to go. Perez is having a hard time getting around. Ooh, there's the graining on Leclerc's front tires. 28 laps on that tire. And you can see the front graining now taking effect. Well, Piastri's almost caught up now to Carlos. Verstappen's now run fastest lap. 1:21.745. They're starting to get close to qualifying speeds. Or qualifying times. Perez finally got around Magnussen. Okay, Albon needs to drop another about 4 seconds here. Looks like Magnussen will hold on for points because Ricciardo got his own 10-second penalty. Sign said my front left is gone, but we'll try. All right, Sainz, you got to hold him up now. This is where Sainz has got to hold him up. And gets around Carlos. Carlos puts up no fight there. Is Alonso on a new set of hards or something? Because Alonso is flying now. Okay, Lando Norris now behind Sainz. This is for a podium place. Norris gave him a little look-see, but he didn't. He just wanted to let him know he was there. Leclerc's radio. Brake balance +1. He says if I don't do things one time, please don't call me 10 more times. Just let me do this. Norris is going to have Carlos either on this straight or the next. Norris should be able to get him on this. Man, Norris made that look easy. Oh, let's see here. So Norris is 1, 2, 3 spots ahead of Verstappen, gaining a good amount of points today. If they realize that Piastri cannot catch Leclerc in these final few laps, I wonder, do you potentially slow down Piastri and let Norris pass to gain some more points on Verstappen? All right, so here we go. Piastri's 8.5 back with 6 to go. Now with 6 to go, or 5 to go, excuse me. 5 laps to go, and he's 8.3 back. Verstappen radio. Can people in the background please be awake? I know this is a shit position, but it's important. Wow! Wow, Verstappen. Shots fired. Jesus. Piastri now 7.7 back with 5 to go. Soon to be 4 to go. This place is going to erupt. Norris is going to gain 6 points today and cut that lead to 64. Italy is going to go nuts if Leclerc can hold on and win this race. So 4 laps to go. Doesn't look like Piastri's going to catch Leclerc. Here's Ollie Bierman. Oh, no, sorry, Arthur. I'm sorry. I only saw side profile. I looked like Ollie for a second. Almost 3 laps to go. The Constructors' Championship will be down to a 10-point lead for Red Bull with now 3 laps to go. Can Leclerc hold on? 6.9 the gap from Piastri to Leclerc. I'm telling you, I have a feeling McLaren may let Norris by. They know that they still have a shot at the World Drivers' Championship. Because you're not going to lose anything. Sainz just continually dropping back. Here we go. Does McLaren make team orders here? Two laps to go. Here we go. Piastri's down to 5.7 now with 2 laps. Stroll's into the pits. Here we go. They're getting ready. We're getting ready to start the final lap. Can Leclerc hold on? He's 4.7 ahead of Leclerc, or ahead of Piastri. Here we go. Getting ready to head on to the final lap. Here we go. Final lap. 3.9 now the gap from Piastri to Leclerc. He's just got to keep it on track. Here we go through that second chicane. 3.8 the gap. Leclerc's just got to keep it on track. Nothing heroic here. He doesn't need anything heroic. Charles Leclerc getting ready to go through a scurry now. Here we go. Getting ready to head into Parabolica. Charles Leclerc is going to win in Italy. Ferrari wins for the Tifosi. Great job, Charles. Piastri will finish second. Norris will finish third. Norris gets fastest lap at the end. Congratulations, Charles and Ferrari. They win in Monza. And a great job by Ferrari in general. Carlos Sainz finishes 4th. Hamilton 5th. Verstappen's going to finish 6th. Russell in 7th. Perez is going to be in 8th. What a victory. Charles Leclerc did a bang-on job. And there's the Ferrari celebrating that one. Yeah, Ferrari winning on strategy, right? Right, Jacob? Ferrari wins on an actual strategy for once. They've finally broken that curse of them having crap strategies that have killed their races every single time. Good job to Leclerc, showing he can still be on top, showing that strategy still matters in Formula One. We heard all day before the race that it was going to be a simple one-stop from mediums to hards or hards to mediums. We saw Red Bull try something different, do 2 sets of hards to a set of mediums. Didn't work out for him in the end. We saw Ferrari go with the one-stop from mediums to hards, and that works out for him. We saw McLaren attempt to do 2 stops. That doesn't work out. What a job by Ferrari, and it shows us that they can finally put together a strategy that will actually win them races. Charles has got to be absolutely just thrilled and through the moon. Hey, Magnussen got a point. Magnussen scored Haas a point today. Great job for Magnussen after starting 13th. Hit that like button for a Magnussen point today, thank God. Yeah, I got to. That is just amazing to me that Ferrari was able to finally win a race on strategy. Does that finally kill the rumors of that Ferrari just can't put a good strategy together? I think that has got to do it with that. You can't sit here and now say that Ferrari and cannot put a strategy together. He sounds so happy on the radio right now. That is really cool for Charles and for Ferrari. They really needed that. We'll stay here a little while longer. You guys can send in your questions. You guys can support the channel as well if you guys want super chat. You can send a super chat through there. We'll read through those. Please hit the like button and then subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Charles Leclerc with victory. What a victory. What a victory. What a victory. Charles Leclerc he drove a really good race today. And like Jacob said in the comments, the strategy was the key today for Ferrari. There's his brother, Arthur. Yeah, this is going to be quite the celebration tonight. Piastri with a good second place finish. Norris probably... there's the stampede onto the track. All the Ferrari fans. You know what's nice to see is, even though Norris could probably be a little upset at the fact that Piastri got ahead of him in the very early going and, really kind of, messed it up enough for them. And, Norris still happy to finish, several places ahead of Verstappen. Verstappen... finishes down in 6th place, 3 places behind Norris. I'm thankful that McLaren did not pull a boneheaded move there and told Piastri to slow down at the end to let Norris pass. Because I was extremely concerned that they were going to try to switch places there at the very end. Luckily, they didn't. Thank God. Yep, you got to get the pictures in, guys. Wait, what did Brundle just say? I really hope Brundle didn't say what I think he did. Basically blaming Piastri for why... I may have to listen to that back because it really for a second there it sounded like Brundle was basically blaming Piastri and saying that he doesn't care about Norris's championship drivers' championship hopes. I really hope that's not what Brundle said. So let's run through the order here real quick. So you got Charles Leclerc winning the race at the Italian Grand Prix. You got Oscar Piastri finishing 2nd. Lando Norris finishing 3rd. Carlos Sainz finishing 4th. Lewis Hamilton, very quiet race for Mercedes, but finishes 5th. Max Verstappen finishing 6th. Great points haul for Norris over Verstappen there. You've got George Russell finishing 7th, Sergio Perez finishing 8th. Decent race for Sergio. Not the race he would have wanted. Basically stayed positions. George, if anybody, had the shittiest of races out of anybody. Had that damage very early on that set him back. Basically destroyed his front wing on lap 1, and then, had that long pit stop to change the nose, and then ends up dropping several places, finishes 7th today, finishes 7th. Then you got Alexander Albon, who finishes 9th, and then Kevin Magnussen finishing 10th. Both those guys went one stop to the end as they went 36 and 39 laps on their tires at the end. Albon finished ahead of Magnussen only on the time penalty that Magnussen got for contact with Gasly earlier in the race. Alonso, 0.183 after that time penalty. That's what he finishes behind Magnussen. Just finishes outside of the points, so Haas and Williams gained some valuable points here, chasing down the RBs and Aston Martin, now we have to say. Then you have Alonso finishing 11th. Great job by Franco Colapinto. He finishes 12th. He would have finished 13th, but obviously Daniel Ricciardo finishes 13th with that 10-second time penalty. I still think that's a joke of a time penalty. I don't get it. Then you had the Alpines of Ocon and Gasly finishing 14th and 15th. Valtteri Bottas finishing 16th, Hulkenberg 17th, 18th was Guan Yu Zhou, and then Lance Stroll with an inexplicable pit stop at the end. Excuse me. Finishing 19th, and then Tsunoda out very early on with damage that ended his race, and that was unfortunate for him. And that's why you had the likes of Hulkenberg and all them, Hulkenberg getting the penalty that he did. So that would be, I think, it. Let's do one more thing here before we end out here. So hold on just a moment. All right, here we go. You either got a Cheez-It or a goldfish on your face. There we go. Got it. All right, so tell them what they need to do.
Don't forget to subscribe above our heads, and my daddy head too. And don't forget my mommy's too, because we have mommy and Jenna. And thank you for everything. Sign off.
Thank you, Bubba. Say Charles Leclerc wins.
Charles McQuail wins. Bye.
Thank you.
Sign off.
Sign off. Thank you guys very much for joining us. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks' time for the Baku Grand Prix from Azerbaijan.